Hey Dan, you've asked me a couple of times today what's on my mind. I know that you've got an abundance of clients that you speak to as well as our secondary property coach. What's on your mind? What's some of the things you've been talking about with your clients?
I suppose one of the top 10 that I've been speaking to our clients about is they come in and they're like, hey, I've got all this money in shares over here and I've also got this money in cash and then I want to go and get started in property. So I suppose the first question that I'm sort of raising at the moment is, why don't I have a share portfolio?
So is that what they're asking?
No,
Right.
that's what I asked. Why don't you have a share portfolio?
Yeah, I do not have a share portfolio, no. I do not.
On the flip side, I do have a very small share portfolio, but the reasons for having and not having one are, I suppose, very, very varied as well. So at the top level, if you want to think about it, what we've got is purely the fact that with a property portfolio, you can leverage far more heavily from the bank from a lending perspective compared to a share portfolio. Banks might let you lend up to about 90% with your property portfolio, but they might only be allowed to lend up to 50% from a share portfolio, just purely because of a slight amount of volatility that you've got there in a share portfolio compared to a reasonably sound property portfolio.
Leverage.
Leverage is the number one reason.
Yeah.
What's your number one reason for not having it?
I'm all about diversity. So as ex-military officers, you and I, we know about risk management and we know about having a plan which is simple, but we know it's going to be successful at the same time, with multiple elements there working concurrently and interdependently. Bloody big words, aren't they, for Tuesday?
Yep.
But
for an ex-artilleryman, yes.
For an ex-artilleryman. Well, concurrent activity is a principle of fire planning. For all you gunners out there, you know that already. But I suppose for me, you can still get the same level of diversity by just choosing one asset class. Because here's the thing, like if you want to have 20, 30 grand set aside, maybe it's a gift from your family, or maybe you got some good extra cash set aside there, and you just want to have a double in the share market, you just give that to your fund manager, you pay him a bloody clip off the top. Yep. It's a very hands-off approach. You don't really have too much influence over what shares to buy, sell, invest in, overseas, national, stocks, bonds, whatever it's going to be. And you basically just put blind faith in that share manager to do it all for you, and that's all right. And that gives you that little bit of diversity. But you're not actually playing the share game at a serious level.
No,
I reckon if you want to put more than 50 grand into the share portfolio, then to me, that's 50 fucking reasons why you need to then learn everything you can about the share portfolio. You need to know the ins and the outs. You need to know the pros and the cons. You need to know the process. You need to be part of the decision making about what goes on, because it's a bloody volatile thing there. Like they're talking about, ScoMo's just made a couple of $100 billion on the share market, and everyone's like, "Woo!" There's only needs to be a tiny little bit of confidence or negativity, sentiment-wise, in the overall market for the share price to fucking do this once. Imagine if the house prices did that.
It'd be terrible. Well, I suppose one of the only ones that is more volatile then is your Bitcoin. Imagine going out there and putting $50,000 in Bitcoin 18 months ago, and it's plummeted 90% since then.
Yeah, that's right.
So I suppose you're talking about it from a diversification.
Diversity, yeah. So in my mind, I'm like, choose an asset class that you do want to learn a lot about. You want to go narrow and deep in that asset class. You can diversify within. You can have different properties held under different structures even. You buy them for different reasons. Like you and I have both got a property in our portfolio which is a capital growth property, and we've got another property in your portfolio which is a cash flow property.
They're both doing their different things and they're supporting the entirety.
That's right, but overall the portfolios that are operating at a really, really awesome level there. So yeah, my view on shares, mate, to answer your question is, crack on, no dramas in having like a little bit of a side hustle, but if you want to play shares at the proper level, all of the due diligence and all the education and all the time and all the effort that you owe yourself in the property market that you've done by even following us in the first place, you need to go and replicate that again. And most people do not fucking have the time to make that, to get it done
absolutely
properly.
Not. Well, I suppose you probably also don't keep in mind the fact that you've also got this wonderful thing sitting in the background for all you military people, your ADF Super, your MSBS and those types of things.
Oh, where's that sitting?
Oh, in the stock market. How about that? How about that? You've already got a couple of $100,000 sitting there working in the stock market. Yeah. Someone else is looking after that for you.
And you're paying a premium for it.
Yeah, exactly right. So you're paying a premium, you've already got a couple of $100,000 sitting there. If you want to talk about diversity, remember you've already got that big lump of cash sitting there in the stock market.
Because even though you don't get access to it straight away, it's still part of your overall position. We still list what your super balance is going to be on your plan because it's all part of your position, and the banks look at your total assets and total liabilities.
Yes.
But we just know you can't get it until you reach a sort of whatever age they're going to be.
And that's what we're always aiming for, that long-term view. Because if we're going to talk about what's happening when you turn 50, we need to start talking about, okay, well, what are you going to do for retirement from a cash flow perspective?
I should start thinking about that. Hey, I'm 46 now, but here's the thing: I'm not going to fucking stop working anytime soon, so that's all right. 50, it sounds old when you're only in your early 30s.
Yep.
But as for most of you that are watching this right now, that have like reached, ticked over 40 already, 30 becomes 40 very quickly, and I'm now finding out 40 becomes 50 very quickly. So yeah, I should get my shit together about what I'm going to do with my super.
Absolutely.
It's all good. All right.
Apart from
what
that,
else?
no, that's kind of the one thing that I was after today. So
Yeah,
I mean,
awesome.
that's the
Right.
thing that's been front and center of mind.
Yeah, be careful with your shares. Have it as a side hustle. As soon as you want to get serious, it's a whole new level, and you need to put in a lot of time to make it happen.